Hey y'all, I am doing a backdrop, and it's really only going to be for the bottom portion of the window and where the village sits in front of, because I really feel like I need something to cover the just that bottom portion. And so this is really kind of on the fly and try and get something that I can just kind of throw in there. It ain't gonna be great, but it's something. So I hope you enjoy this. I drew or sketched out, a scene with a charcoal pencil, and then I went ahead and just scribbled in some basic form of evergreen. And I'm just going back over those sketches with a mixture of acrylic, grass green, and basic black mixed together, and kind of try and fill that in a little bit. Then I will go over it with white and highlight those. I'm not spending an awful lot of time on this. In total, the whole thing, both sheets, probably took me 2 hours, I think. Um, it is on a white cardboard that is a 3-panel foldable, and I just this piece here is on 2 of the panels, and I cut the 3rd panel. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Hey y'all, so I'm gonna do a little tutorial on the Hot Wire Foam Factory tools, sculpting tools. And I have a few of them that I have been working with today and on this project. The first one is the sculptor's tool, or the I'm sorry, not sculptor's tool, the engraver. Again, this is Hot Wire Foam Factory. And this is good for making pavers, cobblestone, such as this. And again, you just want to do pavers. You're just going to take it and go around, just like rocks. You also can create brickwork like that as well. You can do pathways. So, and if you want to use it on other stuff, you can do all kinds of things. There is also more detailed tutorials on the Hotwire Foam Factory website, where they actually will show you how to use each one of these two tools as well. This is a pro sculpting tool. You can see that the blade on it is a little bit thicker. And I do use this, and actually it comes with a few different blades. But I used this one when I wanted to carve out this kind of drive roadway here out of that styrofoam. And again, I used this particular sculpting tool. And this is a, this is my Pro tool, Pro Sculptor tool. And it does come with a thinner wire as well. I chose this one because I chose this as more of a blade. And then this is a wand. I can't remember. I think this one is an 8-inch wand, if I'm not mistaken. So this is really great if you want to bore out a hole for, your plugs that you can kind of snake those through. I also will use it in this respect if I'm cutting through thick styrofoam, and just as a knife rather than use my my hot knife. And then this is the Pro Power Station, which I really like this one the best. I have had the other adapters for the craft tools, but they've burned out on me fairly quickly after minimal use. So Hotwire Foam Factory was really good about replacing those, and I just had to go with the Pro Power Station. This thing has just been phenomenal. I have used it now for, I reckon it's probably been about 3 years now. But as you can see, you can plug your Pro tools are going to have the female adapter, and then your craft tools are going to have the male. And you're going to use it just like that, but one at a time. And then you would just turn it on, and that green light's going to come on. And then you would turn on the button for whatever tool you're using to on, and it's going to heat up, and it is going to get pretty hot. So I always say, please use extreme caution with these things, and use in a very well ventilated space. Windows open, ceiling fans on. If you have a mask to use, use that. It's up to you, but use at your discretion. And please be very careful. I hope that has shed a little bit of light on how to use these. You can see where I have already hotwire sculpted out the river bed, and that was with the sculpting tool, and I am going to plaster this now because otherwise the acrylic paint will seep through. And it gives it a good base as well. And that's what I'm going to get started on now. And I just use rolls of plaster cloth. It's a triple roll. This is Woodland Scenics brand. So 8-inch by 15 yard. And I'm going to cut it approximately about the width of the riverbed. And I don't want to go too long because it's a mess to work with anyway. So let alone in small pieces. And then I'm just going to lay that right on there. Kind of press it in. Don't get too rough with it. Have a piece of hair on there. So I am using a paintbrush and some polyfill right here. I'm just taking off pieces of it, and you can make the pieces, kind of mold them to go how you want. I have a little pebble right there, and I put a piece already around it, and I'm going to go on ahead and put another piece right around it there. So that's what I like about this polyfill. And of course then we're going to go back over it with the Mod Podge and create those ripples. And of course that when you go to do the white caps, the polyfill is raised up and it will catch your paint and allow you to create that look of white, you know, foam in the river. That will create that nice ripple effect. So then of course when you come, and if you want to get a little more texture, sometimes the paintbrush, depending, won't give you quite the lift, but a tongue depressor certainly works really well. And you know, y'all might find something else too that works great, you know, to get the look that you're after. But you can see how you can get a little bit more lift with the tongue depressor. And this stuff is certainly messy, but it's worth it. And I am using, this is a pour in medium 50/50. I just bought this off of Amazon. Y'all can use whatever you like. But I have used that before, and it is just using 50% of your paint and 50% of the epoxy for that one. Now, that's, like I said, that's just a one part. If you want to use a regular two-part epoxy, I've done that as well. It works fantastic. You can see the riverbed is filled with the polyfill, creating those waves and ripples. This is going to have to dry for about 2 days, and after that I will paint it white. I did not need to use any Mod Podge, which on epoxy, dried epoxy, it will dry, the Mod Podge will dry clear, and it will leave rippling and wave effects also, although it will not lift quite as well as the polyfill. Okay, y'all, the river platform is, that riverbed is completed. The platform is in place, and y'all can see that that little mini backdrop of the cardboard, and how it just kind of wanted to fill up that bottom part of the window, which I did not want to show. So that works well enough. Like I said, in a pinch, it works. So here I am fine sanding a roadway, which will lead up to the Great Denton Mill. And I'm doing that because I did carve that out with the Pro Sculpting Tool blade. That is the tool that I showed earlier in the video. And that will carve it out well enough, good, but it, will leave it kind of wavy, uneven surface. Using a finer grain sander is really good for smoothing that out. Here I have also gone ahead and put the little rocks, and all I did was went out in the yard and essentially grabbed some gravel out of the drive, and I am going to just use my acrylic titanium white paint and a dry brush format, and stroke that onto really right over the polyfill that is sticking up, and you can see it really catches that paint nicely. It creates, that polyfill will create that resistance and that drag, which will give you that effect of running water.